Hello, everybody, and welcome to April 11th, 2020. And I'm here with Dr. Beverly Morse. And Beverly is the executive director and co-developer of Integrative Body Psychotherapy. I'm Dr. Margie Gale. I'm an IBP practitioner and teacher currently living and practicing in Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada. We are in the middle of the coronavirus pandemic and we're all sheltering in place. And we wanted to reach out to our global IBP community and give you a couple of words of wisdom, or a few words of wisdom from Beverly. And we've been having a lot of conversations over the past couple of weeks about how we can reach out. We thought this would be a great way. So Beverly, I'm going to turn it over to you. Hi.
Hello, Margie. Hello, IBP community. It's a pleasure to be with you today. And I have been working, as we always do in IBP, first with ourselves and then with those that we touch. Because it always has to start at home so that we become clear and centered and able, just like on the airplane. We always have to learn, how do we take care of ourselves first so that we can take care of others and that we can have our wisdom available. With the COVID-19 pandemic, we are all in this together. We are joined personally in our intimate relationships, but we are joined globally together. We're joined in grief, uncertainty, loss, but we're also joined in the opportunity for growth and development and outreach and connection and change and healing. We're all joined together, and it depends how we step up. So it's really important now. That means that there is a challenge, and we all look at challenges in different ways. We often see challenges as stressors. We say, there's a stressor there for me now. What do I do with that? But if we know that stress is harmful for our physical functioning. We know that stress undermines our immune system. It means that we don't have connection with our wisdom. We only have connection with fight, flight, freeze. And that it cuts down everything in our full system as much as possible. So if we look at this challenge as a stressor, then we disconnect more than we even ever have. That's what we kind of are programmed for in earlier life, is look at it as a stressor. We have stress in our body, and then we know when we have stress in our body, we tend to get sick. All those opportunistic things, disorders in our body, the diseases, everything's just sort of waiting for an opening. And this is an opportunistic time for that opening. So how do we prepare? How do we prepare ourselves? How do we prepare our clients? So if we start with ourselves, we know then what to do with others. Is that correct?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Yes. And I was going to say it's even more difficult because now most of us are working online too. So, how do we connect through this?
I'm working with all my clients online as well. So we start with looking at what we usually call stressors, those problems out there, those challenges. What if we call it a challenge instead of a stressor? Because once we call it a stressor, then we're just okay with feeling the stress in our body. It's not the challenge that's the problem. It's the stress in our body that's the problem in terms of disorder and disease. So we need to look at those outside things as challenges. Then we can step up and deal with it. And we can look at our thinking and how we think that makes it a stressor. We have to change. Our journal's the best place to write about that. How are we thinking about this is the opportunity. This is the opportunity for the deepest growth we've ever had. The deepest showing up for ourselves in life that we ever had. Going back past that small place where we reserve, that we don't fully show up. This is the time that we have that opportunity. Ourselves, our clients, the world, everybody. That's what everybody's facing right now. So first, we need to look at our mind. How are we thinking about this so that it's a stressor? We can change those thoughts, but sometimes we're going to get stressed anyway, because it just happens, doesn't it?
Of course, yes.
So then we have to have skills to let go of the stress in our body, because that's where the problem is. So we need to be able to recognize, stay enough present that we recognize when there is some tension or some splitting off. Because when we're tense or splitting off, we're then causing our body to not fully function. And that's what people don't think about enough. That even in IBP, people are not thinking enough about how, when we hold that stress in our body, how that's affecting our full body function. We know that we create barriers in our body from stress and from all those patterns that make us get in the way of ourselves in life.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I know the ones.
We know that we get in the way of all of our wants and desires.
Mm-hmm.
But what if we also get in the way of our physical organs and systems and that inner flow? We know it in our head, but can we know it in our gut? Can we know that we are doing things that make us not fully functional in our body? And as we age, we really need to look at that, and we can't get in the way anymore. And as we approach challenges, we can't have that in the way anymore, because otherwise the challenges stress us. Then we have stress in our body, and then the stress in our body makes us sick and dysfunctional, makes us fall and bump into things, and it creates a somatic disaster if we don't understand how we're affecting our body. Then there's that small little other issue, the profound, the existential. This virus is life and death. That opens the profound. That opens us to want to be in that essence, in our spirit, in our soul, in something deeper, that wants us to have the quiet time so we can think beneath the chatter to that deeper voice within, that makes us want to connect to ourselves, to others, and that which is beyond.
And you know, Beverly, that's a really interesting point, because I think that you've said, and I see a lot in my practice, how people want to run away from really being in that deep place because they don't know how to connect in. And when they don't know how to connect in, they run away from it because they're scared.
But people are locked in together in their houses.
Yes.
And everyone, when the same thing, I'm just using intimacy as an example of what you're saying, because people think they want love, they want intimacy, they want closeness, but as soon as they get it, they run away. As soon as they have certain feelings and insights, they run away, because we are programmed to run away from anything that changes us at the core from what we were programmed for generations past. These are generational themes. We know, we like to give all kinds of reasons and excuses. We hold on to old patterns, but it's just that we're programmed, and that we're programmed to continue the programming. So every time we step up and we do something good for ourselves, someone's going to come up and say, no, 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 don't do that. That's dangerous. That's bad. And it's too close and it's too much. And we split off. But because we don't face things, we fragment. We don't fragment if we breathe and get present and prepare ourselves to face what's happening. We face it and we deal with it. We don't fragment.
Well, and what we're teaching in IBP is how to face it in your core, in that stability, that center, as a connected person, right?
Yes. So again, I am going to show you some ways that being in your body, being present, things that are very simple that you can use to this time and that are easier to teach virtually and easier to track virtually.
Great.
So I've had to come up with things that I can really do, because I do work with people internationally, and I do the lying down, you know, orgastic pattern kind of breathing, and I do all of that also. But I'm also working with some people that haven't done a lot of work with me or any work with me.
Mm-hmm.
So I have to have something that's simple and that people can do easily, and that people can do 2-3 times a day if they see. And I have some people that have never worked with me before that it's changing their lives now. And that's the opportunity. It's an opportunity to change, because when we come back, life is not going to be the same.
Right.
Can we make that good news?
That's a really great question. And I personally would like to make it great news.
Can we not be a victim to it? But again, as I start to show you some of these breathing skills that I'm going to show you, let's remember that when we are in fight, flight, freeze, when we're in anxiety, when we're in stress, that everything closes inside that can close. And those streams of energy, of oxygen, of blood flow are not working to keep that body function. So as we do this, we're working with the mind, we're working with the psychology, but we're focusing on the body.
Mm-hmm.
So remember, with IBP, we have that bug, and we can have an entrance in many different ways to the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
So we are affecting intimacy, we're affecting sexuality, we're affecting presence, but we're coming in through the body and through breath. Breath is aliveness. When we ask people what they call that part that comes in when we're born, that tends to leave when we die,
Mm-hmm.
that we forget to connect with in between. And people call it spirit, essence, life force, sense of self, I am. Self-agency, that place inside where we know who we are, where our volition comes from core, not from secondary. Our volition, our wants don't come from, oh, am I going to please you? Am I going to make you think of me well?
Right.
So that if we connect with that place in this time, then we move with it with intention and deeper volition. Then it's much more satisfying, and it's much more effective, because that place gives us a real attunement. It gives us a real guidance system, which we need now. So we're dealing with the psychology, but we're doing it through the body. Okay?
So I understand you're going to lead me through some exercises to show people what exactly we're.
Thank you for
about.
working with me, so I can show you and everyone. So remember that this COVID-19 it is a respiratory virus.
Yes.
So we want to work first with our respiratory system. I don't know from research if working those muscles of clearing it up and getting that system working really well is going to prevent us if a disease comes in and starts to shut it down. But I can't imagine that it won't help, and I can't imagine that it won't help us from taking on the virus in the first place.
Well, both emotionally, mentally, and physically.
Yeah, we know when all our systems are working, that we're less vulnerable to all those opportunistic things.
Right. And if we know that stress really does affect the immune system in a negative way, then the more we can do to keep ourselves out of stress and more resilient and looking at a challenge.
So that we don't let stress get in the way of our respiratory system.
Right.
And that we have a way to keep that system working, and we have a way to lower the stress, so that on a body level, we're really preparing ourselves for any opportunistic thing that comes along, particularly this virus.
Mm-hmm.
And that if the virus starts to get there, that we can breathe, because that's the scariest thing about it, is that people forget to breathe. So the first one is based on that when people have asthma and other respiratory situations where sometimes it's hard to breathe and it gets scary, what we know and what Jack always taught was that it's not taking in that is the problem. That's where people get scared, trying to inhale, take in,
Hmm.
that's where they get stuck. But people can more release, let go, if they learn to release and let go. But most people have not learned to let go and release very well. So if it comes to a panic situation, they're not prepared to be able to release. And unless you can release, you can't really inhale. So if we can focus on the release more, we can then calm and be able to take in. And the other part is that we know that people with their lungs,
Hmm.
people don't use their full lungs. That's the way they limit their aliveness and their connection to emotions and the energy they carry, and not to be disruptive of anybody. So people do this, but then this part of their lungs has dead air, no oxygen. And when we're in the hospital, do you know what they have you do in the hospital when you're not moving around and getting full circulation in your lungs?
They have you do breathing exercises, I believe.
Yeah,
That's
they usually have something you blow on with little balls.
right. Yeah.
It's so important for circulation.
Hmm.
What if that is uppermost right now, is that you get the full circulation so that all your systems that can heal, that can protect you, have the materials they need, the energy and the blood flow and the nutrients, that they have everything. That system that we have in our body has everything it needs to protect us and heal us and keep us safe right now. So let's do the first exercise.
Okay.
The first exercise is about really letting go. So I'd like you to take as big an inhale as you can through your mouth and hold it for a moment. And then when I say go, I'm going to have you just let go. Not to let go of your structure, but
Mhm.
imagine just letting go inside to that energy where the stressors are, where any tightness is in your head, behind your eyes, your jaw, your chest, your back. So
Okay.
we're going to start with the letting go exercise. So let's see what happens when you take like double, triple inhale through your open mouth, like hold, 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 hold. When I say let go, just
Okay.
let go. Hold it, hold it, hold it. Before you let go of anything else, let your shoulders relax. Now let go inside. I know you let go nice and easy and soft, but in this exercise, I'd like you to just let go. So I want to hear the let go. As much as I hear the inhale, I want to really hear a real let go. So like this.
Okay. Got it.
Better. Okay. Inhale again. Now I want you to pay attention that as you inhale, to really fill up your chest. One of the reasons you're not taking a full inhale is that you're not yet opening your chest. You're kind of still doing your shoulders. When you do your shoulders, it's like you're pretending to take in energy, but you're not. So what I'd like you to do is soften that whole respiratory channel, that taking in the oxygen channel. So take a couple breaths with me of just softening that channel so that you can feel an openness all the way to your belly button, all the way past the tissues. So take 5 breaths, just feeling that openness here, like, and then let go. You're still monitoring your let go.
Okay.
Let go. Let go. Hold, hold, hold. I want you to take a moment. Hold, hold, hold. Let go. There's one. Let go, let go. Now you're starting to let go. In. Hold it a little longer so you get a little tension. When you're ready, just let go. Open that channel and let go. Open that channel, hold. I want you to hold a little bit so you can really let go.
Okay.
Hold it, hold it, hold it, hold it, hold it, hold it. Just feel the chair you're sitting in. And just see if you could just go, let go. Better. Now you see when you let go, there starts to be a wave. And the other let goes that you were doing wasn't creating a wave of energy for your body. So it wasn't going past those blocks. And one of the things I know that you are a real get it done person. And one of the ways you do it is you don't let go of anything. But a breath needs to be a taking in and letting go. Because on the letting go, it's a healing. It's a rest. And you work on both the taking in and the letting go. And you're kind of afraid to let go because you're not sure that that breath is in there and everything's going to wait for you.
Well, I think one thing I've been practicing lately that I think is coming up for me is that I had assumed that I always needed to soften the breath so that I didn't create a holding pattern in my chest. And we're kind of doing the opposite here, which is
interesting. Yes, I am doing the opposite right now.
Yeah.
That's why I know I'm doing something very different and it's working.
It is working. I feel much more embodied right now.
Yes. Isn't it amazing how quickly you can start getting embodied if you can take in and let go? Isn't that what we teach at the very beginning of IBP? If you watch someone's breath, can they take in and can they let go? You know everything about them. And that's one thing that's automatic and it's manual. It's one place we really can do this. So try 3 more breaths. Take in, hold it, hold it, hold it, hold it. Imagine just let it, look, think of where the tension is and just let go. There you go. Can you feel the difference?
Yes, I can.
It's a new training, isn't it?
And it gets right down into my core, goes right down into my chest. I'm sitting on down into my
I didn't want to give it up until you really got it.
Thank you.
Okay, do 2 more of those. Yeah, then it creates the wave that goes through.
Yeah, there's a mindfulness that has to come in.
Yeah.
And that's why holding for a few seconds actually really helps.
And you want to think about is the tension in your head. You know how if you're doing body work, sometimes they'll say, well, breathe into that. Well, that's what we want to do. Any place where there's a stress behind your eyes and your jaw and your back and your chest and your diaphragm and your belly and your pelvis and your legs and feet, wherever you feel the stress, that's where you want to start breathing into.
Yeah. I think I was a little tight from doing this recording and everything too. So it really feels good to be embodied now. I feel much.
Okay. I know that you could use more of that, but let's move to some of the other ones and we'll come back to it. Okay.
Yeah.
So one of the things we also know is that like I said with the lungs, that we're not really using our lungs. And one of the ways we get in the way of our lungs fully working is that we tighten our chest and our back and we kind of tighten. Anytime we tighten instead of expand, we don't make room for our essence, our spirit, our soul, that self-agency, that deeper knowing, that spirit. And people say, oh, I'm spiritual, but they don't connect with spirit.
Yeah.
So let's see if you can take a few breaths, just really focusing this time on really expanding the ribs and those intercostal muscles in between. So see if you can take some breaths, opening as we started to work with that opening system to breath, inspiration,
right,
spirit, soul, that opening place. And as we open to really expand chest. So let's take 10 breaths with really expanding, but then letting go.
And am I just doing one inhale, or am I doing the double or the triple?
You don't need, if you need it, you'll do the double, but otherwise just take a nice full breath. I'll show you, like, and you're going to do that same letting go.
Okay. So I hope everybody's breathing along with us here.
I hope so too, that they're doing it with us. Thank you.
Okay. So let's go. So.
Hold for a moment and let go. Imagine, again, keep your attention on your chest, expand and let go. High in your chest, expand and let go. Open that breath channel. Soften it so you can reach down to your belly button. Open and let go. Open and let go. Now do the same in your back. Open and let go. Use those intercostal muscles to stretch and let go. Stretch and let go. Chest now. Anytime you take more energy in, it's going to tell you to space out and let go. So feel the energy. You take it a lot. Color object, get present.
Blueprint, green sweater,
get here.
black sleeves,
get here.
White walls,
Get
red
here.
lipstick, beautiful gold chain. Yeah, I didn't go away too much.
I know, but I'm doing it for you and I'm doing it for everybody.
Right.
Okay, I want you to really use it this time as a commitment to show up, to be connected to yourself. So when you do the colors, don't do it routine-wise. Show us how you would do it if you were going to say, I'm here, I want to be connected, and I'm going to use this exercise to really get up. Look at the details, do it intentionally.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I just feel that the whole yummy feeling going all through my body now.
Do it.
Show okay. So blue flower, the yellow core, green sweater, black sleeves, gold or silver doorknob.
Yes.
Yeah.
Again, one more.
Okay. White walls, bookshelf in the background with red books and statues.
Now, what are you feeling inside?
Very connected to my core, my center.
Can you see the difference in the intentionality?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
What do you know from this place? Something simple, something complex, I don't care. Just something, what do you know from this place?
That I'm okay, that I'm strong, that I'm resilient, I can face anything.
And the resilience comes from that inside connection, and it connects, and it comes from all the work you've done before with eating habits and exercise and mindfulness and intentionality and all your IBP skills. It comes from all of that, and you have to trust it all, and you can when you get in your body. Notice how when we get in our body, our perception changes. So I do this with everyone before I try to work on everything. I do a little bit, of how are you feeling, how are you doing, but it's only this place that we can see our lovers. We can see the needs of our community and beyond. It's only there that we can see what we've been doing all these years that doesn't make sense anymore. It's this place that we have an opportunity to drop into now. So
I really like the preamble too, because I think for a lot of people who are just really new to this work, and if you're on an online session with them, and they might be really resistant to the breathing, so there has to be some preamble to it. There has to be, look, we're in a really stressful situation right now. You need to work on your really making sure your body has full function.
The only thing I would change. I would change any need tos to I get to. As soon as you go, you need to and you should, then you get to character style and burden and responsibility. And all the good people that are connected with us have a lot of need tos and shoulds, and then they just get tired. So that's one of the main things I've been working with people, is getting to the core and getting to the I get to. What do you get to do now? Change all your shoulds to get to, and see what's wrong with the shoulds, because there's a whole bunch of stuff. I get to have my kids home, and I get to have kids. And it's not like, oh, I should and I need to, and they need this and they need that, and then they go down and down and down, and then they can't really be with their kids.
Mm-hmm.
You understand what I'm talking about?
Absolutely, I do.
But
So how would you say that to a client online?
I do it every day.
Yeah, and so how do you
Every
say it?
time I see that they're in all that burden,
Yeah.
I say, okay, let's change this. Because their wants are usually about the basics that they already have, food and shelter and some skills to take care of themselves inside. And maybe they have loved ones around. Most people have somebody around that cares about them. So most of their basics are there, but most of our wants are wants that come up because we want to be able to do that because it's a good idea. We don't have that place inside that knows whether it's really a want from that deeper place. So we do it so that we look good in our own mind and for other people. But sometimes it's not fulfilling because we're not checking in with our deeper wants.
So if you had a client who's really stressed out, you've seen them for the first time online, what would you tell them to get them into the breathing and get them doing this breathing?
I would tell them the same thing I tell everybody else, everything I started this with.
Okay.
Every single thing, that it's really important now that you show up for yourself and you wake up, show up, and connect. And here's some skills to do that. Because whatever, as you're going to talk about, you know from those times when you do connect, because everybody has a time when they have connected, whether it's with yoga or a good run or surfing or meditation or dance or art. Everyone's had a time where they know that place in flow. They just don't know how to get there without doing hours of something else and things that they can't do when they're in stay-at-home mode.
Right.
But this they can do, and we know that if this is something that we created in IVP, something where they can have that inflow, connected, show up place on an ongoing basis, and they can build new neural pathways. And that's what I talk to them about. But
Beautiful.
I wouldn't go past that. The first things I always talk to anybody about is, do you have support inside, outside? And I don't talk about anything until I find out if they have some support.
And by support inside, you're talking about in here.
Yeah, inside. But there was one more thing that I didn't get to do on the body.
I'm ready for you.
Okay. So what we want to do, I was talking about the lungs, and our lungs that we don't use fully, and that most of the time, for most people, there's a little place at the bottom that they're not using. And we need our full lung capacity now, don't we?
Yes.
So what I've been having people do is really go to the very bottom of their lungs. And sometimes they cough, and that's good because that really gets some of that moisture. Because when we don't use that part of the lungs, we get a little wheeze, we get a little moisture, we get just a little deadness in there. So let's see what happens when we do like this. Watch me for a moment. I put my hand around that I am place right up here, and we're trying to open this as well as the lungs, because that's the entrance to getting our breath to our lungs. So we want to, here, I'm going to just tip this a tiny bit, okay, so you can see my chest. So watch me for a moment. I'm going to do it. And I go as deep as I can, but then I'm going to get a little rush so that I go color object, green ball, yellow ball, butterfly with purple and yellow wings and blue vase, and I'm going to get here. And you have a vest with black and green, and you have that beautiful blonde hair and glasses, and I see you and I want to be here.
Oh, I love that.
So anytime you do extra breath and get extra energy, if you don't do the presence exercise, you won't be able to contain it. You will teach yourself once again to split off and fragment instead of teaching yourself to stay present and connected.
Yeah.
Because it's like a leaky sieve, and
Mm-hmm.
all the energy of connecting and waking is gone.
Right.
So as we do that, I'm going to, and you stop for any moment, I'm going to ask you quickly to do the present exercise with that intention again.
Okay, and I just want to note that I saw you go into 3 points. There was the center, there was this side, and then there was this side.
Yeah, it's an IBP thing we do. It's
Yeah.
mostly here, but I do every place. Try and get everything to move.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Like everything to move, but at the same time of getting everything to move like we did with our breath, I want to get to the bottom of my lungs. I don't want to forget that this is mostly about getting to the bottom of the lungs. If you start to cough, that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
The body does what it needs to do when you say, okay, we're going to get to the bottom and clear out our lungs.
Okay.
So let's do it together.
Okay, is everybody ready? Because we're all going to do it, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay, so.
Really push. Push it all out. Push to the bottom of your lungs. And those that are listening some of you should be coughing, because if there's anything in there, I know I've done this with you already, so you've already gotten to the bottom of your lungs, but push it, Margie. Really push to the bottom of your lungs. Get everything out. Push, 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 push. Now come color object, get here.
Brown bookshelves, white wall, silver doorknob, wood
Yeah,
print,
be here,
green sweater,
be
black
here. Show
sweater,
up.
gold
Yeah.
locket,
Yes.
black sweater. I said that before. White
It's all
door,
right. It's all right.
black hair.
Make as many mistakes as you can. Just do
And
it.
you're here, and I see
Yeah.
you. I
Yeah.
hear you.
Yeah. Yes. And what are you feeling inside?
Oh, warm. I could feel my face flushed. I could just feel this lovely flow of energy going through me.
Isn't it amazing how quickly you can get full aliveness?
Yeah.
And think of how we haven't been in full function anywhere in
Even
our life
me,
except for moments.
like you, I breathe with my clients all day long, and
I do too. But look at what this does.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
What I've kind of put together out of need to help people, because we need our full function, our full presence, our full wisdom. People forget that when they're in stress, when they're in fight or flight, they don't have their wisdom. They can't see the bigger picture. Those things disappear.
Right. The blinders go on.
Right.
Yeah.
So tell me something that's true from this place.
I love you.
Me too.
I feel a lot of love.
Yeah.
I just feel very alive and a lot of love, and feel like I can handle anything that comes up.
Yes. And you're not in the fear space that shuts you down. And you're in the love, which we know when we get organized around problems, we shut down, and then there's no room for anybody else.
Right.
No matter how much we love them, when we're in our body and we're in this peace place, you can see how love is just right there.
Yeah. And how much we miss out on it when we are in that fear place and that.
Yes. And then one of the things I've been doing with clients is remembering a moment of love, of connection. Don't go with the story. If you go with the story, you get to the basic fault. And most people are seeing this all through their basic fault. So this is an opportunity to work your basic fault. But you can't do it. Everything is easier once you do the breathing and get in your body, then everything gets easier.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it'd be great to follow this video up with another video about working with the basic fault. Just to remind people, especially in this
mostly
time.
we have to get in our body and we have to get alive and connected. Then everything else is easier. Now notice that as you go to your basic fault, you started to get more closed and you got more in your head.
Well, I always want to make it the best, Beverly. So that is the good, not good enough.
No, it's just very slight, but I can see your energy change.
Mm-hmm.
So go back to that place inside, that place of love. Take a couple of breaths into it.
I think I'm going to do a couple more of these.
Yes, find the one to do. Good. Push it out. Here, I'm going to give you another one that does
Okay.
that too. Remember, we do the prayer position?
Yes.
Okay, I want you to do the prayer position now. The other one is best to begin with, but after that, you can do this one because this really works really well too. And you're going to push on the exhale.
Mhm.
Remember, this is also a Jack one.
Yes.
Push on the inhale. Do 10 pushings on the inhale and stay
On,
present.
on the inhale or exhale?
I'm sorry, you're going to push on the exhale.
Okay.
Push everything out. Listen to see if there's any wheeze in there. I know I have a little allergy that I get in the mornings, and I get a little wheeze in there from the allergy. Just push it out. That's about 5, 6. Now shift and push. Okay, if you're going to stop, then you have to do color object. Color object.
Okay, white wall, silver doorknob, brown.
Feel the energy coming in. Feel
Yeah.
the energy coming in.
Mhm.
Pay attention to your body. Where's the energy coming in?
Oh, all the way down.
Pay attention. Where is it coming? Name the places. Name the places.
Chest. It's going all the way down from my head, through my throat, into my chest, down to my belly, into my pelvis, into my legs, down to my feet.
Okay, notice when you name it and you connect, it makes you more connected inside, and notice how it spreads. So as it spreads, let the energy, your energy, go past your skin.
Mm-hmm.
You don't
Yeah,
have to
feel it
there. Be in the expansion of it. Now you're going to do the other one where you're going to press for about 10 with your inhale this time.
Okay.
And make sure you really expand your chest, not just your shoulders.
And I notice you're taking a quicker inhale. Is that?
Yes. Go for it. You can do it. Now color object.
White door, brown box, yellow wall, blueprint, green sweater, green tea, black phone, crystal lamp, black printer.
Get here. Okay, get here. Do a couple where you really get here. You do it because you're ready to show up.
Beverly on the screen.
Yes, your intention, you're ready. You're not going to do it halfway. You're not going to be trying anymore.
Right.
You're not going to be almost anymore.
So it's like you really have to put the punch into it. Okay, got it. Yeah.
And your intention.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel that. Pink Post-it notes, silver and black tape measure.
I'm here. I'm ready to be here.
I am here. I am here.
I can trust myself inside. I can trust you've created a good life, Margie.
Yeah.
There's always tweaks in our life. That doesn't mean that we're bad or that we don't know something or we're stupid. There's always tweaks.
Mm-hmm.
But you've created such a good life. Look at where you came from, all the work that you've done, and you've been a success at it.
Mm-hmm.
Look at all you've created, all you've accomplished, all you get to do now from this place.
Mm-hmm. That's very exciting.
It is, and you can feel the excitement inside. Where do you feel that?
Down the core.
And anytime you lose it, if you lose that connection with people, go back to a time when you felt a connection. It's in your body. When you lose trust, go back to a place where you trusted. Go back to a place where you trusted yourself. Mm-hmm. It's all inside. You can tap into it now. Mm-hmm. And go back and remember that we're all tweaking things. We get to.
Yeah. And during this pandemic, we're having to really make sure we tweak so that we stay inside.
If we undermine where we are and all we've created to do it, then we do it from a deficit position. And not only are we not in attune with what we're reaching out for and not doing our best, and we're working hard at it, but we're undermining our own body's resistance to everything that's opportunistic, including falling down and having car accidents.
Yeah, we're undermining our aliveness when we most need to be alive. That's really the
And connected to wisdom,
yes.
into the larger force,
Hmm.
whatever we want to call that,
Yeah.
the profound.
Hmm. Yeah.
Let's keep connected to it all. I given you some simple things that you can do that really work.
Yeah.
And you have a lot of IBB skills. My journal's been the best. Every time I get down about something, get scared for any of my kids or grandkids, they're on some of those front lines.
Hmm.
You know, they're doctors and they're on the front lines.
Yeah.
So I have to keep here so that I can say, okay, is there something I can do about it?
Hmm.
Not just go into the misery. I'm at a place now that I really have created a good life for myself. And I have to remind myself, and what can I do about it? What can I learn from it? We're in such an opportunity now.
Yeah, we are.
Challenges are opportunities, they're not stressors. Stress is something that we can or cannot do in response to it. In the Jewish tradition, we say that the least we could do is be miserable. What if that's not true? The least we could do is come and be connected and be in our well being, be grounded, be able to see what we need to do on the outside and take care of us and have our inner machine working for our mental well being, our emotional well being, our clarity. We
That's a
need our
wonderful.
intellectual clarity. We have great brains, but unless it's connected to our humanity inside, we don't have the clarity of wisdom.
It's a wonderful message, Beverly.
It
And
seems like a good place to
yeah,
stop.
yes. Thank you so much. And thank
Stay
you,
in the
everybody, for
profound, stay in
listening.
your body, breathe. But every time you breathe, remember you have to get present and you have to have that volition of staying present and connected with yourself and showing up. It's up to us now to take advantage of this wonderful opportunity that we have. It's a corrective change. And let's assume there's going to be some good corrective changes because we're united now.
Yes.
And we can take care of our planet. We can take care of our health. We can take care of all the things that are getting in the way of our fulfillment and the fulfillment of our souls and the people we care about and beyond.
Thank you for your beautiful wisdom and your heart and soul, Beverly. Thank
Thank you.
you, everybody, for watching. And if you have any questions or would like to get back to us, you can email, reply to the email that I'm sending out. Take care, everybody.